Today is November the 18th, 2015. My name is Tanya Finchum. I'm with Oklahoma State University, and today I am in Leedey, Oklahoma, to speak with Dr. Jamie Gore. This is part of our Cowboy Neighbor County, so thank you for having me today. Let's start with having you tell us when and where you were born.
1978, Elk City, Oklahoma.
In a hospital or at home?
Hospital.
And what did your parents do for a living?
My dad was a dairy farmer, and my mom was a bank teller.
And where?
Leedey. Yes, in Leedey.
So they traveled from Leedey to Elk City for your birth?
Yes.
Closest hospital? Or
yes.
At that
closest.
time? About how far is that from here?
It's 34 miles.
Well, not too bad.
No.
Do you have brothers and sisters?
I do have an older brother and an older sister.
So you're the baby.
I'm the baby.
Did you have chores on the dairy farm?
Yes. We had baby calves that we fed by the bottle and bucket and helped milk, clean the barn, mow, all that kind of stuff.
Have to do those things before school?
I did not usually. My after school was usually my chore time, but
Were you in FFA or 4-H when you were in?
4-H. Yeah.
Where'd you go to elementary school?
Leedey. We have one K through 12. It's pre-K through 12 now, but all in the same building. So went to school that whole time in Leedey.
Was it close enough to walk, or did you ride a bus?
I rode a bus with about a mile out of town, but usually rode the bus. I did live in town some in junior high, high school, and so got dropped off by my mom and rode my bike. But
Have a favorite subject?
Probably science was my favorite.
Were you in the band or play sports or?
Sports, yes. Played softball, basketball.
What position? Basketball.
I was a guard. We had 6-on-6 until my senior year, and then we went 5-on-5 and played several positions then, but yeah.
To juggle all of that classwork and sports plus the farm. Was the farm in your family before your parents?
My grandpa actually started it, yeah.
Has it been in the family 100?
He started it back in the 60s, I believe.
Not quite in the centennial farm range yet. But
No.
I noticed there's several of those in Dewey County.
Yeah. The dairy part, they had land before that, but the dairy part he started back then.
But regulations have changed the way dairies
Yeah.
been doing.
Yeah, I got, well, it was hard also to find help when my grandpa got older and couldn't help. My dad was doing it all on his own when I was in college and med school, and so he actually quit milking in 2004 when I graduated from med school.
And turned it over to you all.
He just sold out the dairy part. We still have the land and cattle, but not the dairy.
How large was his herd?
Usually around 100 average. So.
And are you a milk drinker?
Yes. Yes.
Did they make their own cream and cottage cheese and ice cream and all that? No.
No, not in my time anyway. We bought that, but we did drink milk from the tank from the cows that we milked. But so
That's a good I would think.
It was good. Yeah. When he quit milking, we had to start buying milk. It was a little hard to get used to. But
Maybe taste a little different.
yeah.
A little.
Yeah.
I would imagine that there's certain smells and sounds and things that you would miss from having the animals around too.
I don't know about miss, but
Well, you
it
smell
smells better around there now since we don't have all the cows right there by the house. But yeah, we still have cattle, so we still have
some of that.
Yeah.
The drought was hard out here for a few years,
Mhm.
and they look pretty green coming in today.
Yeah,
Places
it looks nice now. We're We've had pretty good rain this year, but so the wheat crops look pretty good right now, but hope it'll keep raining. But it's,
And there was some other crop, I couldn't tell what if it's soybeans or what had the bigger leaves. I don't
yeah,
know.
I'm not sure what. There's been some newer
Or granola maybe.
crops around, but they've done some of the canola also, but
And I
it's
noticed
not-
a lot of tank farms too.
Mhm.
The oil out in this area.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, the oil field's been big out here. So the slowdowns really hurt the economy out here with
And the wind
Wow.
towers, I was surprised at.
Mhm.
I mean, Dewey County must have, I don't know, 1,000
Yeah.
maybe?
yeah, there's
Or
a
more.
lot. Those have went up in the last few years too. So
I thought maybe that's played into the new county courthouse.
possibly.
Infrastructure improving with that. I don't know. Just
I'm not
guessing.
sure, yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah.
So when did you graduate from high school?
1996.
96. And then where did you go?
I went to Southwestern in Weatherford for undergraduate.
Majoring in what?
Biology, minor in chemistry. Got my bachelor's of science from there 2000 and started med school that fall at OSU.
You always wanted to be in the medical field?
Not really. I always liked the science area, and in high school we had to do a job shadow for one of our classes, and my sister worked for an eye place in Elk City. It was Britain Vision Associates. It was a branch of them, and they had optometry and an ophthalmologist there, and so I went and shadowed the ophthalmologist for a half day and watched some eye surgeries, and then shadowed the optometrist the second half of the day. And he was not like a general optometrist, he specialized more in eye disease, and so it was pretty interesting. I decided after that I'd started college majoring in optometry. Pre-optometry, it was a biology major still, but my first year getting into more classes, I decided I didn't want to just do eyes, and ended up changing to pre-med. So
You went that path instead of veterinarian?
yeah, yeah. I like animals, but didn't think I wanted to do that part.
Yeah. Well, then once you finished that and you went to, I'm assuming you applied to other places, or did you just always want to go through OSU to get your?
I did apply to OU also. I had just, I hadn't completed, during the first application process, I hadn't completed all of my prerequisite classes. I still had, when I took the MCAT, I was just taking Physics 1 and Organic Chemistry 1. I still had the Organic Chemistry 2 and Physics 2 to take. And so I just thought, well, I'll just go through the process, and went and did tours of the schools and just applied to those two, and really liked OSU, how the school was set up with smaller class size, and they just had a more feel of being at home at the school, so it was fit with my personality and my character from coming from a small town, small school, and being raised in a rural area. But I just fit better with me, and I got accepted that year, so started that fall. So
I guess distance-wise, it's not that much difference between the two. Between Tulsa.
Tulsa's a little bit farther, but yeah,
So you had to move and live
probably
there
90
for-
miles farther, I guess. But yeah, we moved up to Tulsa, and was there 4 years for med school. So
Do you like city life? A little bit?
No.
No.
Not really. I like to shop a little bit.
When you say
Not enough to live there.
When you say we, were you married at that time?
Yes, my husband and I got married after my first year of college in '97. So we dated in high school.
High school sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
Then he's from here.
Yeah, he's from Tulsa originally, and he graduated from Leedey, moved here and played baseball his senior year, and graduated from Leedey, but he grew up at Tulsa. So
I've not been on the campus, the OSU Tulsa med school campus. I don't know much about it. Is it like a small campus, or is it one building, or
it was
what?
one building at that time. I know they've made some changes to the campus since I graduated, and I haven't actually been back on campus in a few years, so I haven't seen all the new changes. We had my 11-year class reunion a couple weeks ago, and I missed it. My daughter had ball games, so I didn't get to go. But I know they have made some changes to the building. But it was one building then, and they'd added on a new auditoriums that we at that time were new. But it was all in one building.
How many were in your class?
We started out around 88. That's kind of what they accepted in each class. Was around. I'm not exactly sure how many we ended up graduating with, but.
And that was how long of a program?
4 years.
4 years. Mm-hmm. Well, that would put you graduated in, do my math,
2004. Yeah.
Okay. During that time, did you learn to follow the Cowboys?
Yeah. I was always a Oklahoma State fan. My dad went to Oklahoma State for a while, and he didn't graduate from there, but so he was always diehard OSU when we were growing up. So we always had. He's a big sports fan, so we had football and basketball and wrestling and everything. We were always up on that because of him, but so it wasn't hard to. I was always an O State fan. So.
Be a coach?
Yeah.
So was he majoring in ag since he was from farm
Yeah.
background?
Yeah. I think he attended there 1 year, but he came back and took over the dairy and started helping my grandpa with it. So.
Well, did he have siblings? Your father?
Yes, he had an older and a younger brother. My Uncle Ed lives at Camargo, which is just 11 miles north of here. And his younger brother passed away from pancreatic cancer, and that was several years now. But
Did he stay in the area too?
he lived in Elk City, yeah.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
What is it about this area that keeps you all here?
I don't know. We lived Weatherford just an hour from here, but and then Tulsa, and we lived in Durant for 3 years for residency, and couldn't wait to get back out here. So it was just the people, and especially in Leedey, these little communities like this, they're just well supported by the community, and the people here are just not like people that we've met in other places, but we've met some really good people along the way, but just overall the sense of community here is.
Families here have been here a long time,
Mm-hmm.
generation after generation.
Yeah, most of them. We've had, we have new families that have moved in, but for the most part they're long history with families here.
So what did you do in Durant?
I did my family medicine residency. It's a rural family medicine residency through OSU, and did that postgraduate training there for 3 years.
Did you have to do house calls, or did they come to you?
No, we did. We had a clinic, worked in the hospital, and then had a resident clinic by the hospital there.
What were some of the main things you saw? Primarily broken bones or heart attacks or what?
All of those. We had general family medicine in clinics, so we had a lot of, just managing chronic illnesses, diabetes, and solid hepatitis, and heart, obviously, diabetes and heart problems. But in the hospital, ER, we saw
A little bit of everything, I'd say.
wide range of things, yeah.
Was obesity an issue since
Yeah.
diabetes, if diabetes was?
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty, all over the state, that's pretty much a big issue. But.
Well, you see commercials that there's a shortage for rural health care.
Mm-hmm.
So is that part of the reason you went into it, or
There was a shortage there, but I didn't really. I chose family medicine because when I was in my my last 2 years of med school, we do rotations through the different specialties, and we have core that we have to go through, and which is surgery, OB, and primary care. We have several family medicine. OSU was at that time more geared towards putting out primary care physicians, and every rotation I did I liked, so I decided on family medicine because of that. Not a big surgery fan as far as long surgeries. I do a lot of minor procedures in the office with skin lesion removal and things like that, but long surgeries I'm not good with, so I decided away from that area. But everything else I liked, so, and that's how I chose family medicine. And when I was looking at residencies, we knew we wanted to come back out here to live, and that rural medicine residency really appealed to me because it was similar setting to what I would be in out here, with being a couple hours away from metropolitan large hospitals, and being able to take care of patients here and coordinate care with specialists far away, and so that's why I chose that residency.
Well, working out of this office, do you do home visits, home call, house calls?
I have done a few. Some of the elderly patients that I've taken care of, I grew up going to church with, and since I grew up in this community, so the 98-year-old, if she needs something, I go to her house, and if they can't bring her to me, and so I have done some.
And she may still see you as the little two-year-old.
Yes. Yeah, she, the church I grew up in, my grandparents and her were about the same age, so they were good friends, and I just saw her the other day, and she mentioned my grandma, and a lot of the people her age from our church that have passed on, and 'cause they're all gone. She's pretty much the only one left that age, so. But
Give her special treatment.
yes.
What are some of the biggest challenges for doing rural health care?
One would be, from just growing up here, everybody knows me, and so they know where I live, and they have my phone number, and if they don't have mine, they have my husband's, and so there's not a lot of peace as far as me just being able to step back and not be a doctor. If I go to church, if I go to ball games, my kids' school functions, if I go on the quick stop to get a drink, they're, oh, let me ask you about this. So, and a lot of them have become more sensitive about that as far as being able to have my time to just be me and not the doctor me. But that's one big challenge, and it's a trade-off. On the other hand, if I need something, I've got the whole community to pick my kids up from school if I need it, or anything I need there, I have that. So, other challenges would be just access to specialists, because I am, in family medicine. If I have a patient with end-stage liver disease and I don't have a liver specialist close, something like that, and that's the importance of coordinating that care and being able to communicate with the specialists, but we just don't have, a lot of those active close to be able to just send them to, so.
Well, how do you keep up with who's the specialist and who's not, internet or?
Yeah, we've got,
contacts?
the hospital I work with now, Woodward, we're group of hospitals, Alliance Health Oklahoma. They've just recently changed the name to make us all the same name. But so we have good access now through Deaconess as far as having a lot of specialists in the Midwest City Hospital. And then there's a lot of them I went to school with, medical school with, and so I have a good outreach there as far as getting a hold of specialists that I know personally. And then some I've just used based on referrals from other physicians, and I've developed relationships there. But, so.
Do you have to handle much of the insurance part?
Not a lot. I mean, I do have to be sensitive to that, because if I need something done, a test ordered, or I have to be sensitive to their deductibles and their, if there's prior authorizations that we're going to have done, and how quickly we can get those tests done because of the insurance. So I do have to deal with that, but I don't have to work denials or anything like that. Our office staff does that.
How many days do you work here in Leedey?
I'm here 1 day a week.
And then the other time you're in
Woodward.
Yeah. Do you see much difference in your clientele between the two?
Not really. They're pretty similar. I was in Elk City for several years and practiced there before I moved up to Woodward. And I still have several Elk City patients that come here on Thursdays to see me, and so they're all pretty similar patients. I mean, here there's a little bit more personal connection, I guess, to the patients, because I've known most of them for a long time. But now that I've been in Woodward a year and a half, I've gotten to know a lot of my patients pretty closely up there. So.
Do you see many farming accidents?
A few. I've had, haven't had any really serious ones since I've been here, but several falling off tractors, chainsaws to the leg, things like that, but lacerations and broken bones, but I haven't had thankfully any serious farming accidents here. But.
So you don't have any issues with blood then?
No, blood's fine.
I'm gone.
Yeah. Some people will do that, but no, blood. I'm good with blood. It doesn't bother me.
Do you envision staying here for the rest of your working career?
Yeah.
Between the two?
There's some difficulties with, driving. I'm on the road an hour and a half every day, driving to and from work, and I've got 3 kids at home here. They go to school and they're in all activities. My oldest one's, she's almost 11, she's in the 5th grade, so she's got a lot of activities. My little younger 2 are kindergarten and pre-K, so they're not quite as busy yet, but trying to make it to all the activities. And Leedey plays teams south of here, Sentinel and Thomas, and so if they play there, I can't always, because the elementary play early, so I can't always make it to those games, but I have that with any job to do, so just do what I can.
He'll have a little bit of flexibility where you have appointments or not, I guess, a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
What prompted your switch from Elk City to Woodward? Anything in particular?
It was really, I'd been in private practice, and that was getting really financially hard with all the changes with Medicare and insurance and reimbursement and the increasing costs. And I didn't go into medicine to deal with that. I went into medicine to care for patients. So it just got to where I didn't like what I was doing. And so I changed from private practice to working for the hospital at Elk City as an employed physician. And I liked it there. I didn't ever think I'd leave there, but I had my husband was on the volunteer fire department here in Leedey, and when the Woodward tornado went through, we were sending a fire truck for rescue and an ambulance. And my uncle was the Woodward County Sheriff at the time, my mom's brother, and I called him just to see if they needed help with the hospital, and I didn't know how many injuries they have. It was a pretty big tornado, so he called them and they said yes, told her to come help. So I went up there and was there a few hours, just sewed up some minor lacerations and things like that. But it was crazy there. I mean, there were so many patients in and out, and I had contact with a couple of the physicians that are in Woodward when I was there, just briefly, and then I left, and I thought, I don't even know I was there because it was so crazy. But he was the year after, kind of getting close to the year anniversary of the tornado, that they were working on a anniversary celebration, to recognize the people that came and helped, and my name came up, and the CEO at the hospital there, Dave Wallace, he was like, Jamie Gore was here? And they said, yeah, she's a doctor in Elk City, I think. And he's like, I know her. He was the COO at Durant when I was a resident there, and I didn't know he was in Woodward. So he made contact with me and wanted me to come to their celebration, and I couldn't go the time they had it, and he called me again, and then I had a friend that was a nurse there, and I talked to her a little bit about it. So I just felt like I needed to change, and the way Dave contacted me, and he actually contacted me 3 separate times, and the times that he had contacted me, I just felt like God was really leading me there. So it was a big change, and it was hard. It was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, leaving my patients in Elk City. And I had patients coming in yelling at me because I was leaving, and some were crying, and then others was like, no big deal. Some that followed me, but I wasn't expecting how hard it was going to be to move, and in the middle of that, I'm like, why am I doing this? This is crazy. Mm-hmm. But I just still, the whole time, I just felt God's lead to take me there. So, and I was able to stay here and not move my family. And so, not a great explanation for it, but other than, then that's where God led me.
Things seem to fall into.
Yeah.
The stars were aligned, as I said.
And it's been a good move. I like it there, and the administration staff is great, and they took that hospital over about 3 years ago, I think. CHS bought that hospital out and came in and took it over, and they've really made some good changes in the hospital in 3 years. So it was a good move.
Did the CO have any connections to OSU if he was in Durant? Did he come through OSU?
No, he was from another state. So the company that owned Durant Hospital is the same company that bought out Woodward. So they had moved him into Durant for administration there, and then moved into Woodward.
Well, do you have a favorite patient? Don't have to say the name, but a favorite story that goes along with it?
I have a lot of favorite patients.
Well, favorite may not be the right word. Interest in, or success story or something.
Gosh, there's so many. I have a patient, actually 2 patients right now, but one of them, and he's still struggling a lot, but learned about this disease in med school called sarcoidosis, and they're like, us normally in African American females, you look for these things on the blood work, and they have, one of the big things is enlarged lymph nodes in the chest, they can have arthritis syndrome with it. And I had a patient from that I've known a long time come in with some lymph nodes in her chest. I was worried she had lymphoma. Really worried about that. And we sent her for biopsy, and it was sarcoidosis. But she's a white female, and so I'm like, I don't know, this is kind of weird. But she's on medications for that. But I have and now a white male who's in his early 30s, and he's still having a lot of problems with his, but he's doing better. But those are probably interesting because they were like, oh, you'll never see this. You probably won't ever see this, but just remember this. It's African American females. And I don't have one African American female with it. But just remind you that the disease does not always follow what they say it will follow. And then one of my good friends has a son with Hirschsprung's, was born with Hirschsprung's, and he was, I took care of him in the hospital, and he had a lot of problems in the first few weeks, and then he was diagnosed and had surgery and colostomy, and then had that reversal, and so they've been through a lot with him, but he's doing a lot better now. He's 3, and so he's been a fun one to watch, and he still has problems from it, but he's a fun patient. He hates me though.
You give him shots or something?
Yeah. He's had a lot of surgeries and needle exposure in his 3 years that he's been here, but he sees me and just starts screaming, so I'm not his favorite person.
Hopefully he'll grow out of that at some point. Yeah. You get attached regardless, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I've had a lot of kids that my cousin's little girl has juvenile rheumatoid arthritis, and she's in remission now. And I took care of her after I moved out here, and then I don't know. There's just a lot of kids that I've taken care of. I enjoy that a lot. They're just watching the kids through their growth and changes, and the ones that have chronic diseases like that are doing well, and they have great specialists that they see, but it's just fun watching that.
You see all ages, like you just probably don't deliver babies, but then
I don't deliver
but
babies.
Then after that you
I see newborns to 100-year-olds, but I enjoy I have some nursing home patients, and I started that when I was in Elk City, taking care of nursing home, and I enjoy that too.
I would imagine the hardest part would be the death of losing the battle.
It's something they don't prepare you well enough for. We have lectures on death in med school. We had a few lectures on end-of-life care and DNR and advanced directives and how to talk to the patients, but just lecturing on it it's not a great preparation for that. I didn't really in med school rotations have a good exposure to telling patients that they were dying or dealing with families with dying patients, but it's something I've learned to deal with, and probably a lot harder, being from this community and dealing with people that I've known my whole life, and in other families, and helping them die is not something I was prepared to do, but I've had to do that. So, and one of them was my grandpa. He developed pulmonary embolism and ended up in the ICU, and he had some, a lot of arthritis and neurologic issues anyway. Couldn't walk, and after being in the ICU for several days and had to go to the nursing home. And he was in the nursing home that I was medical director at, so I would go for my rounds. And one day they told me, we need you to go talk to your grandpa because he's packing his bag. He says he's going home. So I had to go in there and talk to my grandpa and tell him why he couldn't go home. That was not easy. And I wasn't his doctor, but he ended up getting worse and ended up on hospice. And so I was up there every day making sure he had his pain medicine, he wasn't hurting, and it was just tiring. It was really tiring and emotionally hard, to try to watch him. And so, but that's helped me with other family members and patients that I take care of, just experiencing that myself. But it's definitely hard.
Well, after you've dealt with something like that, how do you recover? I mean, what do you do to rejuvenate? Not with just that situation, but others.
I really don't even know how I made it through that, but that was a hard year. And
well, you were helping him.
I had a retinal detachment and had surgery on my eye, and had gone through the stress of that, and was recovering from that when he got sick. And my son was just a year old and my daughter was 5, and we had just moved up here not long before that, and from Elk City, and I was working full time, and I really don't even, God's what got me through that. I mean, just prayer and knowing that I wasn't doing it myself, because there's no way I could have made it through that on my own. But it was a tough year. And then I got pregnant with my daughter right after his funeral. It was not planned, so that was another stressor that kind of came on. I was like, what's going on? But she's been amazing. So
you must be pretty good at juggling and managing and time management and all of that.
I don't feel I'm good at it, but
things get done.
But you just one day at a time. And we live on the farm I grew up on. My parents across the driveway from us, so my mom and dad are a big help with the kids. And my husband's here. He works here. He'd be out of town some, but he's usually around. So they do a lot, especially my mom and dad, helping out with getting the kids where they need to be. And
mealtime.
So yeah. Mom usually has supper cooked when I get home at night. So that helps a lot.
That helps a lot, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, when you do have time for leisure, what do you do?
Not a lot of time for that, but
read a book, or
we have no, I do not read. I read so much and stare at the computer all week. I don't want to do any of that.
That's true.
We have church activities through the week, and then like to shoot guns. That's kind of a new thing in the last few years. I never shot a gun when I was a kid.
Just at targets?
Yeah. Yeah. You go out and shoot targets and blow things up. But no, not really. It's like a stress reliever, shooting even a target, but it's fun. And then we have razors, and we used to have 4-wheelers, but we mostly have razors now. We go out and ride those. And
what's a razor? I'm not sure. A 4-wheel?
Yeah, it's
like a Kubota.
Sort of, but they're faster.
Oh.
We have 4-wheeler with razors. So we got the last couple of years we went to Colorado on vacation and took those and rode in the mountains, and
that would be fun.
That's fun, but they're fun to ride around here. So
whether for the snow or if
anything.
Yeah.
Snow, mud, dry dirt, which we've had a lot of out here. Go out in the field and jump terraces with them. But yeah, they're fun.
So how big is the farm? How many acres is the?
I'm not even sure. We have a half section, and then we rent. We have my husband and I rent some school land that's attached to that.
It's a half section, 160, or is that a quarter? I should know that, but I don't.
I should know that too. But I don't have a lot of close hand in all the farming, so.
But terracing, I know they did that during the WPA era down back in the 40s and 50s through there. So you still have those, and you hop them.
Yeah, they're kind of jump.
I bet it'd be neat in the snow to do that.
Yeah, I haven't done that in the snow yet with the razor, but.
And no accidents doing that, I'm assuming.
Not yet.
I
have seat belts and helmets. But kids wear helmets. But, yeah.
Are there horses? Do you have horses?
We have horses. My daughter, oldest daughter, really likes riding horses, but we don't have a lot of time to do that often, but we do that some.
Is she in 4-H? Or maybe she's too young?
She's in 4-H, yes. Yeah, she has shows pigs. She's done that for a couple years now. So we do have that. Horses, donkeys. It's about all. Other than the cattle. But.
I saw a sign coming in for mules. Somewhere into Dewey County, wasn't here, but the mule track or something. Don't see a great deal of those around Stillwater.
No, but not. But yeah, we have, summer we like to go to the lake too. We have a boat.
Which lake?
We normally go to Foss, but it had been so dry, it's finally full again. But we went to Texoma a couple times, and
not Canton.
Canton's been dry too. It's better now since the rain we got this spring, but yeah, we've been to Canton too.
Fish or just boating or swimming or
both?
Both.
Yeah. We have wave runners and boat, and kids like to play on the water, and then we fish some too. So haven't done a lot of that in the last 2 or 3 years either. When Foss was full, we used to go every weekend, and this summer we didn't get to do that as much, even though it was filled back up with the rain. But we just had a lot of changes going on, a lot of stuff going on this summer, so we didn't get to get much. But
well, the hills here are the ones that they come and do rattlesnake hunts in. Is that right? The Gypsum Hills.
There are some, yeah. This further south of here is they have the big rattlesnake hunts, and then there is a place east of here that does.
O'Keene. I saw the sign coming through. O'Keene.
Yeah.
Your husband doesn't do that?
No. He's not a snake person. He would drive into oncoming traffic to try to kill a snake, but and has done that before. He's deathly afraid of snakes. So no, he would not be hunting any. He does not like this.
Well, do you ever, as a family, go to anything at OSU? Like basketball, football, whatever?
We have a couple times. It's been a few years since we've been to a football game. And then we went to a basketball game a couple years ago. So we don't get to go very often, but
keep up with them or somehow.
Yeah. I have my ESPN app and keep track of the scores if I'm not by TV.
Have anything orange in your closet?
A lot, yes. A lot of orange. All my kids are OSU fans, but we just painted my daughter's room pink, the little one, the 4-year-old. And she was in there telling me how much she loved the pink, and she said, "It's not for OSU, but it's pink. I like pink." So she She likes her OSU stuff too.
So you have 3 children, all 3 girls? No.
1 boy. Middle one's a boy.
So 11, 5,
6, and 4.
4.
Yeah.
That's a house full.
Mm-hmm. A lot of fighting.
Did you have any of them while you were in at OSU Tulsa?
No, I had the oldest one when I was an intern in Durant. Yeah.
Okay.
She was the first one.
Well, she may want to go to there then if she was born in Durant.
No, she wants to go to OSU. She's already told me that. So, she doesn't know what she wants to do yet, but she loves animals and she's talked about being a vet, but I don't know. She does not want to be a doctor. She makes that really clear. So,
Were you of the 3 of you, or you were the only one that went into medicine?
yeah.
Something to do with medicine?
Yeah. My brother works for an oil field company here, and my sister, she did work as an ophthalmology tech at BVA in Elk City. And then she didn't work for a few years when her daughter was younger, and now she's my receptionist. So.
You're a receptionist.
Mm-hmm.
How's that? No.
We actually do pretty well. We do pretty well. She lives here, and we drive to work together. And
Carpool.
yeah,
Good sister time.
so we get along pretty well for working with each other. But she's 8 years older than me, so we weren't ever so close in age that we fought all the time.
She was already out of, well, no, sort of high school, but it's all one school, so that scratched.
Yeah, we all went in the same building, but she graduated when I was in elementary school, so 5th grade or something. I think 5th or 6th grade. So my teenage years, I was the only child pretty much in the house, but
Practice doctor on your dolls as you were growing up? I mean, you knew from early age that you wanted to be something
I really
in medicine.
didn't.
You didn't?
That was more of a kind of in high school. Really realized that I liked that, but wanted to do something in science or the medical field. But I really didn't do that.
When it was time to dissect the pig or the frog or whatever it was in high school?
We did that once.
Formaldehyde, I can remember.
Yeah.
that smell.
It was fun. We had the cats in undergrad and anatomy. Those are kind of gross. I'm not a big cat fan, but
Well, being on the dairy farm, you probably didn't. Well, I don't know. Would you have had witnessed birth?
oh yeah,
Yeah. Cows?
we had a lot of pulling calves
And you did fine with that.
yeah. I watched a lot of that. Watched them work the calves and cut the calves and dehorn and all that. Never bothered me, so
But you didn't want to be a vet.
no. Smells too bad, I think. What I do, I have some bad smells sometimes, but
Yeah.
not on a daily basis. So.
Well, he could have been a nurse instead of a doctor.
Could have.
Didn't consider that.
No.
Well, I don't know what the difference is between a doctor of osteopathic and a medical, an MD. Is there much difference between
Not
the
a
two?
lot. We've the schooling, the basis, the time in school is all the same. They're structured a little bit different. We have a really big focus on the function of the body, being a result of the structure, and looking at the body as a whole, and also pulling in, emotional problems as being a cause of physical problems, and making sure we're dealing with that part of it, in addition to giving medication for whatever physical problem there is. So, and then we also have more training in the structure of the body with the osteopathic manipulation and restoring the normal structure of the body. So we have the manipulation that we can do too. That's an extra class that we have. So otherwise, they're pretty much the same. Sometimes you can walk in an office and see a DO and not know the difference. But
I've been to both, and it seems that DOs are more personable.
yeah, I've heard that a lot from patients, and we're taught, our manipulation classes start the first year, and so we start putting hands on patients our first year because we use each other as patients, learning the structure of the body, and then we learn all the different techniques with manipulation, and practice that on each other, and then we go home and practice it on our families, and to learn it. And that, I think that has a lot to do with when we get into rotations and residency, and being able to just walk up and put your hands on a patient, and we don't have any reserve about that because we're used to it. And then I think it's just a lot of the philosophy behind looking at the whole patient and being able to talk to the patient and get the history and get them to feel comfortable to be able to open up to you and talk to you about their deeper problems that they don't usually want to talk to anybody about. So that has a lot to do with.
So the word manipulation in that sense just means hands-on?
Yeah, it's hands-on. If somebody comes in with back pain, neck pain, we put our hands on and see if, check the alignment of the spine, and we have different techniques as far as being able to realign that. That's the really unique part about what we do. It's kind of like chiropractic, but different. There's more to it, but that's the unique part of being a DO, is being able to do that.
Do you remember graduation day?
Yes, I do.
Who all came?
That
No.
was a big day. My parents were there, and my father-in-law, and my grandpa went, and my sister, niece. A lot of people there.
We did the wave when they said your name.
No air horns or anything. But yeah, that was.
Did all 88 finish that started with you?
We had some changes in our class. We had another one that had a baby, and she ended up finishing the year after us, I think. And we had one that was in the class ahead of us that had an accident and was in the hospital for a while, and ended up finishing with us in our class. So there were some changes. I'm not exactly sure the number that we graduated with. I've forgotten. Over 11
Pretty
years.
close to the number that came in
Close,
with you.
yes. Yeah.
Was there ever a moment when you thought, I'm not going to finish, or I can't finish, or I wish I hadn't picked this?
That one, yes. Our first year, our anatomy class there's just so much information. People, they tell you and they try to prepare you for what you're going to go through, but the amount of knowledge that you go through in a week in medical school is just unreal, and it took a long time and figuring out the different teaching styles of the professors, and because it was nothing like what we had in undergrad, but we finally figured out our anatomy professor and started doing better in that class, but that one was tough. Then you had anatomy lab and a lot of hours of studying and dissecting, and it was just overwhelming at first, but you kind of get the hang of it and you know what you have to do in your study time, and it's just a big adjustment and a big change.
Husband helped quiz you?
Some, yes.
Or defuse you, maybe?
Yeah. He was very patient. 4 years. and in residency, so 7 years. Yeah, he worked full time in Tulsa and hated it there. He worked for Coca-Cola and drove a truck in the traffic over there, and so he was a very angry man sometimes when he got home. But we came home a lot on the weekends, and he didn't usually have to work on the weekends, and so we'd come home and he'd help my dad on the farm, and I would study and
whole different atmosphere.
Be able to getting away, because we either stayed in our house over there or we'd go visit our friend, but you know, getting out and doing a lot, we didn't have the money for that. I was in med school, so we would get bored just staying at home, so coming here on the weekends helped, just to get away. And so
traffic between here and there.
Yeah.
Although they go pretty fast out here, the big trucks. But there's not a lot of not 6 lanes or whatever either. But
we had it down. We'd leave Friday evening and get out here, and we usually didn't leave to go back home until 8 o'clock Sunday night. So we'd get back to Tulsa about 11:30. We got home late a lot.
Well, when you left there, was Durant your only choice? I mean, could you have picked something out this way?
Yeah, there's there was a residency in Enid that I looked at, several in Oklahoma City. So that's probably the closest out this way.
What did he do there?
In Durant? He worked for a construction company when we first moved down there, and then after I had my daughter, he stayed home with her for 6 months. And then he got tired of being at home, and so he actually worked at our clinic, our resident clinic, at the front desk, and did that till we moved back out here.
He's done a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
He's more of an outdoor person. But
so he's happy now.
On
the farm.
Yeah. He does the farming and works for a oil and gas company here in town. And he's also the reserve deputy for Dewey County and works Leedey. We had a town cop that retired this year, and so he took that over kind of, and so he stays busy.
Sounds like you both.
And he's a volunteer fireman. So, and he's on the EMT
that wasn't what my
board.
Next question was
the ambulance board.
He might as well might as well be an EMT.
Yeah.
Do it all.
Yeah, he actually went to class, but he didn't pass the test the first time, and he didn't go back and take it again. And then I was like, you got a lot of jobs here. Might just leave that one out. But he can drive the ambulance for him if they only have 2 of them, you know, to be in the back. He can drive the ambulance, and he does that. But.
Well, I would imagine that's part of being in a small community. The men have, I don't know, women I guess have various roles they play like that.
Yeah. And I took over the ambulance medical director about a year ago, I guess. So I do that now too. But
are you the only doctor in town?
Yeah. Yep. So that's.
And you envision staying here, period. And not moving to Woodward or anything like that.
No, unless something changes. But as long as my parents are here to help you know, with the kids if I can't get home or whatever. That's probably want a relief. It kind of gets old driving sometimes, but it's not.
Well, Elk City was closer, wasn't it?
About 8 miles, yeah.
8 miles. Well, not much.
16
different.
miles total a day.
Not much difference.
Not a lot different now.
Oh. Hmm. Yep.
It's not my nurse.
Yeah, we can wrap up if you want. We've covered most of what I wanted to ask. We've talked about rural care. They told me to be sure and ask if she makes house calls, and you said yes, you do.
Yes, I do some. Rural health care is it's kind of a big. The school has really gotten into a lot of, you know, trying to recruit rural doctors because we do have such a shortage now, and just in Elk City and Woodward, there is a shortage there, and we've got in Woodward we have some nurse practitioners that have came in, and that's really helped kind of take some of the load off, but a lot of the chronic, really debilitated patients that have a lot of problems they can't take care of, so, and they have limitations on prescribing and, you know, things like that, so we still need a lot of doctors, that they're just predicting that to get worse, though, as far as the shortage of physicians in rural areas.
Well, they're pushing more for physicians, assistants, nurses to go back and get their
physician extenders. We definitely use them, and I'm glad we have them. But
what about how big's your caseload here? Or I guess, well, I mean, the town is four or 500 people.
Yeah.
So
I usually on Thursdays when I'm here typically see 30 people. Some days 25, some days 35, but
makes for a long day if you're seeing that many.
Thursdays are long days, yeah. They're busy days. I have Wednesday afternoons I take for charting and administrative things that I have to get done. But I usually see around 15 every Wednesday morning, and then my other days I have anywhere from 17 or 18 to 25 or 26, but it just depends on the day and what's going on, what season it is. But
allergy season.
We're getting into the busy
flu
cold
season.
and flu season.
Flu season.
So it's starting to get busy.
Do you take a flu shot?
I do.
You do.
I do 2 a year. I do one in October and one in January. Stay covered. I have asthma, so I'm not taking any chances.
I should, but I don't. So you consider Leedey home.
Mm-hmm.
How has it changed much since you were little to now?
It has. There are a lot of people here now that moved in that, you know, didn't grow up around here and have those roots, but we still have young people moving back, and so they grew up here. So
was there ever a movie theater in town?
I think there
In your lifetime?
Not in my lifetime.
Not in your lifetime.
But
And there is a grocery store.
there is a grocery store.
And the post office is still here.
Post office is still here.
And the school's still here.
Yeah.
Those are big.
Those are
three big
ones.
things.
Yes. We have a lumberyard, bank.
Do you have a library?
We do not have a public library. They have the mobile library that comes around.
But when milk comes, okay.
We have a museum that's got a lot of neat. There's a tornado here back in the 40s, and they've got a lot of neat memorabilia from that in there. We have a flower shop, drugstore, pharmacy. A couple other gift shops and salons, and there's really a lot of businesses here.
It's alive though. That's yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of businesses here, and people are good about supporting local.
Well, how many's like in a one grade at school, like a class 20 or 30?
It varies, but like my daughter's 5th grade class has like 13 and 14. My youngest daughter's pre-K class has 24. So
A bubble.
Son's kindergarten class has 20, so they're pretty big classes. But yeah, anywhere from 10 or 11 to 25. Typically don't have any more than that in a class, but
So 20 or less makes for right size
Mhm.
classroom, really.
yeah. The classrooms are usually good size, and the pre-K and kindergarten have some aides in there helping with, since they have so many, but it's a really good school. Our
And-
superintendent actually graduated from here. He was 2 years older than me, and
Is it interested keeping it?
yeah, it's a great school.
Well, when you need to get something other than what the grocery store might have, you go to, what's the closest city? I guess Woodward.
Elk City,
Big-
Woodward,
bigger-
or Clinton.
Clinton. Okay,
Yeah.
forget that.
Those
Yeah.
three kind of similar distances. So, but
Well, congratulations on getting to come back home.
yeah, thanks. We really enjoyed it.
And the razor sounds fun.
Yeah. Have to go check those out.
If there's nothing else, we'll say thank you and
Okay.
close out.
Thank you.
Thank you.